Well, that's all the time we have for today's Sunrises. So if you missed anything or you just really want to rewatch some of your favorite segments, of course, we've always got you covered on CVMTV.com for all the fun stuff in between. We're on Instagram at Sunrise CVM and at CVM_television.
That's not to be confused with Instagram.
No, Instagram. Instagram.
I see what you did there.
For the gram.
It's because we went to South Carolina today.
South Carolina.
Idiots. All right. Well, also a big shout out to Moda Home Goods.
Yeah.
Find them at 24 Constant Spring Road.
Nice.
Shop
Nice.
1U Village Plaza. Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
See? Cool.
Yeah.
And also tune in to Lead Story with George Davis at 6:30 p.m. And also do not forget Corner Office with Carlton Stewart at 8 p.m.
All right. The Roundtable Squad takes over after these. Bye.
Good morning, Roundtablers. Welcome to the Thursday edition of the Roundtable. I'm Shalana, and joining me at the table this morning is my amazing co-host, Kurt.
Hey.
And listen, when I say you have never seen a roundtable like this, because our special guest is none other than Miss Pearly grandson, and he will be joining us via Zoom because you're in a foreign and all these things. So we have to bring up the technology. Welcome to the roundtable, guys. Hi, welcome back. Because I'm sure I've seen you here before. You and I talked before, man. Morning.
On several occasions.
There's several occasions.
Happy to be here. Thank you for having me.
Awesome. So it's warm up there already, because I think last time we spoke it was cold.
Hot up.
It hot.
Oh, wow.
Not warm up, hot up. South Carolina is very sporadic, one, and two extreme. So very cold in the winter time, very hot in the summertime. Them claims they are spring now, but I don't buy it.
No. So, like, we always laugh. I say, with Jamaica, when they're asking, like, what's the temperature like in Jamaica? And I'm like, it's hot. That's the temperature that we know. Anyways, what we're going to do is we're going to start checking out the social buzz and see what's buzzing online.
Assistant Public Defender Natalie Tate for Mr. Harris, who should be present in Zoom.
Mr. Harris, are you driving?
Actually, I'm pulling into my doctor's office, actually. So just give me 1 second. I'm parking right now.
You stationary?
I'm pulling in right now at this second. Yes, I am.
All right. What are we doing?
Your Honor, we are respectfully requesting an adjournment in this matter, up possibly 2 to 4 weeks that the court would allow.
So maybe I don't understand something. This is a driving while license suspended?
That is correct, Your Honor.
And he was just driving. And he didn't have a license. He doesn't have a license. He's suspended and he's just driving.
That is correct, Your Honor.
I don't even know why he would do that. So defendant's bond is revoked in this matter. Defendant is to turn himself into the Washington County Jail by 6 p.m. today. Failure to turn himself in will result in a bench warrant with no bond.
I said, can you say caught red-handed?
Beyond red-handed, like he just was not thinking at all. The poor judge, the judge is like, I don't even know why he would do that.
You can't make this stuff up, You can't make this stuff up.
What do you think, Andrew? Have you ever seen something like that before?
Listen, this man this is savagery. This is all I can. I've never seen bravery to this degree before, and I'm always talk about Jamaicans brave. Listen, me never see bravery like this ever in my life. The judge I call you, but a driving suspension something, and you actually a driver, you're gonna tell him, hold on.
Hold on, It's the hold on part,
And he was so proud of himself when he parked, Okay.
Absolutely.
I'm parked, okay, well, let's continue this meeting. It's crazy. I cannot. Anyways, it's now time for a bag of things, Kirk.
All right.
Kirk, you're gonna. Oh, what's this?
This is my bag of things. So, this is actually a fold-out chessboard, and you can keep all the pieces inside.
Oh, is it wooden?
Yes, it's wooden.
Oh.
This is actually a birthday gift from like when I was a teenager a long, long time ago.
Oh, this is so nice.
Yeah.
I like sentimental stuff like that, you know.
It's really nice, right?
Yes.
And inside is like all fuzzy to protect the pieces from
Like
being
felt,
chipped and all
not
of that.
fuzzy, it is felt.
Hang on. Sorry. Why Kirk would I say when he was a teenager a long, long time ago? Kirk, I feel
It's been a while. It's been
I
a
don't think
while.
we need to double up on the long.
It's been a
Why are
while.
we
It's
doubling
been a
up on the
while.
long?
I try not to, like, I don't want to dump it out. You know. Well, I don't know how to play
All
every
right,
time.
so the reason why I brought this chessboard is
Yes.
because I think chess is one of the best games you can. Chess is one of the best games that you can learn to play, right? It strengthens the mind. It helps you to think logically, right? It helps you to plan ahead, strategize, everything. And just like in life, chess can be, you know, a good metaphor of life, actually, right? No matter how many pieces you lose, it's not over until it's over, right? So don't give up.
Oh, you know.
Makes sense, makes
This-
sense, makes sense.
Makes sense because, like, you know, when I'm watching shows and movies, it's always like, you know, like the villain or like the strategist or somebody's just like, I'm playing the little chess game, and I'm just like, okay, I see. I guess there's a correlation. So now you're coming and you're saying it's good mind work, right?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
All right. And on top of that, I think something hot's coming my way. I don't know. I feel it sizzling in my head side. Oh, hello. All right.
back this
So
one.
let's see what today is. What hot topic? It's exploring the weight and relevance of cancel culture. Andrew, Miss Pearly grandson, what are your thoughts?
You know, it is interesting because when I thought about this topic long and hard, and I wondered whether I really needed to come on CVM to talk about this, because I feel like I put myself at risk of being cancelled by just participating in a discussion about cancel culture, and especially for somebody like me who is quite liberal in terms of how me express myself, and probably sometimes don't care to be, well, care more to be morally correct than to be politically correct. Boy, I don't know. But make we see what we managed to unearth in the discussion.
Okay, but you know, first we want to start off and say, like, you know, like, what is cancel culture? And I think it's where, you know, it's very prevalent in this digital world, right? And it's where social media users, you know, consumers and stuff, they kind of they think they hold a brand accountable for something that they might have done, and like a large group of people find offensive. So that is cancel culture.
Brand or person?
Brand or person, I think, definitely. And so,
That's a very good question, Kirk. Brand or person?
Both.
Because
Some of
the
them
truth
is
of the
the
matter
same.
is that not necessarily. It is one thing to attack an issue. It is another thing to come for the person. And the truth of the matter is that in the real sense of the word cancellation, it's almost as though you're not just interested to get the person brand, you know, put the person out of business per se, but it is so much anger that comes along with it that people are necessarily interested in a complete obliteration of the person themselves.
right, but
You
I
know
think,
what I mean?
yeah, okay, so, but I think, Kurt, okay, so let me just start off. I think you were kind of saying similar things, except that I think that a person can actually be their own brand. So Miss Pearly Grandson is your personal brand, correct? So
Correct.
unfortunately, that is tied to you as a person versus a McDonald's, which Kirk will touch on later, right? Versus a McDonald's, which is like a brand, but you're like a personal brand. So if they're going to cancel you, you yourself are going to get canceled. You, because you are tied to that brand.
Or an actor, for example.
Right?
Like
So,
an actor.
Like an actor, they're tied to that brand. So the brand is, I don't know, Nick
Themselves.
Cannon. Yeah, Nick
Johnny
Cannon.
Depp is the most recent one.
Johnny Depp is,
Johnny
you
Depp
know,
is the
so
most recent one.
He gets cancelled. Unfortunately, all the characters that he has played, all the things that he has done, all the promotions that get cancelled along with his personal cancellation. So
Yeah.
you know, I get what you're saying, but what are your views? Because it, Kirk, is that they think cancel culture is necessary to keep, you know, accountability, but some are saying that it stifles freedom of expression.
So I think that it's important to differentiate the things that people say from the things that people do, right? I think, sure, you can cancel a brand or a person based on something that they've done, but I don't think it's right entirely to cancel someone or a brand for something they have said. Because firstly, I believe in free speech, right? You have the right to express yourself and believe in whatever you want to believe.
But you're not free from the consequences of opening up your mouth.
And that's fine. If I hurt someone's feelings in my exploration of truth and my expression of truth or whatever, then fine. I'm okay with taking that risk. But here's the thing. I'm not okay with things that people do and then they get cancelled for it. That's fine. You can get cancelled for something you've done, is what I'm saying.
So like the people who are walking in supermarkets and licking the ice cream and closing it up back, you're okay with, you're okay.
Yeah, cancel those people. Cancel those people.
It's just like, I beg your pardon. I beg your pardon. What are your views? Do you think that it's necessary for social, you know, for societal accountability, or is it stifling freedom of speech?
The lines are blurred.
Yeah.
And it's really sad because in the grand scheme of things, you really have to ask the question, is honesty always the best policy? Now, understand that people can do things that are very, very trivial, but it just rubs the wrong people the wrong way. Understand that there's a power imbalance that exists in our society. So there are people who have more, some people have more power than others. Some people have more clout than others. I sent an application to a specific place at one time, and one of the feedback I got back from somebody who was on the inside was that 80% of the people were with me. But the person said to me, we have to watch that 20 because that 20 is a powerful 20. Needless to say, I did not get the job.
Yeah.
So there's a power imbalance that exists in our society.
Yeah.
And while I agree with Kirk that it should really be based more on what you do than what you say, the truth of the matter is that the higher the monkey climb, the more him exposed. As long as you have a bit of influence, every single solitary thing concerning you now becomes the public's business. And so you can make a wrong facial expression and come under fire for that, depending on where you are and the kind of crowd that's there and who see it and what kind of issue them decide to make of that. So it's not just what you do, but what you say. And like for somebody like me who is very expressive, this is quite a sensitive topic because a lot of things that I say,
Them try
there's
cancel
nothing
you.
wrong with
Them
it.
try cancel you, man.
There's nothing wrong with it.
You sound hurt. Them come for you? Them come for you, my friend?
I feel so. I feel so.
Now we're getting to the root of the matter this morning.
I feel so.
I mean, you're
And
not the
that is
only
thing
one.
Because, when you say, you're right, because Kirk, you're quite liberal in the way you express yourself as well. And the truth of the matter is that it takes a certain person with a certain kind of skin to come out and talk a certain way.
Yeah.
And people who have a certain amount of immunity as well.
They try
Because
canceling you too.
understand that once you have a certain position on a certain matter, you are now putting yourself up against certain people who may have an alternate perspective. And these people may have some amount of control. We are talking about people who have the power to just send in a complaint against you on a social media platform, such that your post now becomes flagged and is not fed to your regular audience. I've had that experience on multiple occasions.
Oh, gosh. Listen, persecuting my two guests, Kirk, and some of them trying to get cancelled. Anyway, so we'll have more roundtable up after the break. It's getting a little hot here, but more roundtable. Soon come back. Welcome back to the roundtable this morning, and the topic, very heated, is exploring the weight and relevance of cancel culture. And of course, I have my co-host here, Kirk, with me, and our guest host, Miss Pearly Grandson, is joining us. And before we went on break, we were talking about, how can you separate the cancellation of a brand per se, especially if that brand is your like if you have a personal brand, and Miss Pearly Grandson was letting us know that them really come for him from time to time. But what I want to also touch on is that cancel culture seems to be, really big in the United States. But is it catching on in the Caribbean? Do you think it's catching on, or do people just flare up, get upset for a while, and then after a while, them say, Lord, I think him suffer enough, or she suffer enough, and then they start to them come back? What are your thoughts on that?
I think, yeah, that is true. Like, for example, Chris Brown, right, who got cancelled for having that case with Rihanna where he allegedly assaulted her and all of that. Yeah, you will remember from back when. Yeah. And then after a while, people were like, okay, yeah.
Them listening to
they're still listening to his music. He's still making new songs, all of that stuff. Right, so like I think after a while the cancellation does expire in that sense.
Okay.
So
what are your views, Miss Pearly Grandson? Do you think that?
I think that Jamaica absolutely, the Caribbean absolutely gets affected by what's going on in the United States. I feel like America sneeze and we catch a cold, probably pneumonia. And as a result of that, because what especially social media has done is that it has basically created a single space in which everybody is operating. You know what I mean? And because of that, we are very much aware of, what's going on, kind of thing. Now, the social media gives everybody power. So when them say even the dull and ignorant, they too have their story.
Man.
The dull and ignorant not just have them story, but they also have the ability to take action, right? This is from them coach. Because as long as them see something where them not necessarily care for, and this is the problem I have with cancel culture. If it is that somebody does something that's detrimental to the health and well-being of the rest of us, it is okay to have that conversation.
Agreed.
Because there are consequences for action.
Right.
But there are necessarily people who don't have, I don't have to do something wrong. I have to just say something that just doesn't sit well with the right person.
This is great because you're touching on my next point that I wanted to ask, you guys about was the mob mentality. So we talk about cancel culture, but it's like a thin line between that and online bullying or bullying and this mob mentality where it's like a hive mind. So one person says, this person did this to me, and they say, I did have a feeling about her, and that's why I never follow her, and da-da-da-da-da, and then more people start heaping that on, and does that, really kind of water down what cancel culture is supposed to be? Do you think so, Kurt?
Well, a wise man once said, if everyone is thinking the same thing, then no one is really thinking. Right? So I think a lot of the cancel culture comes from people saying that, all right, you have to be politically correct, right? You have to say the right things to please the most amount of people and whatever, or have it easily digestible.
Okay, so
right?
break it down. Right.
Palatable for, most people or whatever, right? But I don't think that saying stuff has the same impact as doing things, right? For example,
we can disagree.
You be surprised, sir.
No.
Thank you.
Let me give you an example. Like, for example,
will be examples, but don't mean you're right. But let's.
All right, let's say J.K. Rowling, right?
Yes.
A lot of people have been trying to cancel her over a tweet that she said regarding
It's not just a tweet, but okay.
Regarding there only be 2 genders.
Right.
Right. Male and female.
Right, and they've said that she's transphobic.
She's transphobic,
but she's made follow-up comments that would feed into the thing to say that she is.
Right. So does that convince me enough that I should, not consume any more Harry Potter, right? Her as a person, yes, she's the author and whatever, right? Harry Potter being the franchise, the brand, whatever, right? Should I let what she said affect my love for Harry Potter, right? Same thing with another situation where it's like, if a country, tells some people to evacuate to the south, and then bomb the roots of the South, and then a certain company is gonna give Happy Meals to the soldiers that bomb the route to the South and then bomb the South. Am I going to, not eat a Happy Meal for the rest of my life?
So that is actually a really good point, because a lot of people have been using cancel culture to hold brands accountable, especially in that situation that you're speaking of. And they have actually said they've seen like their margin,
a lot of businesses closed down.
Lots of businesses have closed down because they support those people.
Yeah.
But I want to know, Miss Pearly Grandson, you said they've tried to cancel you. Have you ever engaged in cancel culture? Have you ever canceled someone?
No.
No.
But before I even answer that question, though, one of the things I feel like we need to agree on, I see Kirk's perspective, but we cannot negate the power of the spoken word. Them always say when you grow up, say sticks and stones may break my bones, but words can do whatever they can. When a person expresses themselves, they are basically stating their position on a particular issue. If I come out here and I talk bad about a particular subset of the society, depending on what I say about that, I'm making my position clear about that. I may probably spreading hate or something like that, and that is not okay. So we have to understand that even though actions do attract a certain amount of gravity, words also have the potential to attract the same kind of, to do the same kind of damage.
Very well.
Okay?
Very well said.
But on the matter of whether I have participated in cancellation, probably in perspective, but not in actuality, there are people who do things out here in the public domain that I'm saying, why would people continue to support this? If this is what you stand for,
that couldn't be me.
Why would I even purchase your shoes? Kind of thing. But not actually go to the extent of, well, in an event, we wouldn't buy the boot because you're not going to put on clearance and I really clear.
Right, I know exactly what you mean. Kirk, have you ever canceled someone?
No, not really. I think everyone has the right to express themselves, even though if I don't agree with them, fine. Express yourself, that's fine. I'll talk back to you and we talk back to each other, we discuss things. If we find a middle ground, fine, great, lovely, right? If we don't, then all right, agree to disagree.
I have canceled people. I have canceled. Like celebrities, like I've not supported them, their music, listened or bought their clothes because of, like, for instance, I think when Kanye West sold Confederate flag stuff at his tour, I was like, oh, well, that's it for me, I can't do that. But it's time for another break, and stay tuned because you know what's coming up. It's our final thoughts. We'll be right back. Thanks for staying with us. Time flies when good things are happening, but you know what time it is. It is final thoughts. And I'm going to start with you first, Miss Pearly Grandson. If you can just tell me your final thoughts on the weight of cancel culture. Do you think, is it relevant? How is it affecting us, and how will it affect those in the public sphere?
Cancel culture has its place. It's very, very relevant, and I feel like it is also necessary. But before we embark on the process of cancellation, we really and truly need to look at what it is that the person did or what it is that the person said, and make a decision whether it is necessary for us to, one, we just decide so we're going to just avoid that person and the brand altogether and follow the person and keep it moving, or two, we make it a point of duty and if we start one whole campaign against the person, begin to collect data and triangulate all kind of something and start spread propaganda on the person. We need to make a decision about whether that kind of action should be the result of what it is that the person said or did.
Okay, totally agree, I get it. And Kurt, what are your views?
I think cancel culture is political correctness gone wrong in some sense, where sure, there's a time and place for it, meaning what we discussed. Like, I believe if you do something, then sure. If you say something, move on. We can agree to disagree, right? So I think it's political correctness gone to the extreme in a sense, where it's like, what moral authority does a person have? Someone who practices cancel culture, right? Like, what moral authority you have over that person to say, all right, he deserves to be exiled and rejected? Like, another wise man once said, he without sin can cast the first stone.
Okay, that's a good point. I agree with Ms. Pearlie Grandson, in fact, that cancel culture does have a place. I find that society is rapidly changing. It's a dynamic space right now. And especially with social media, we have so many different things that are dealing, and everyone has a voice. Everyone is able to say the first thing that comes to their mouth and to do things for clout and attention. Therefore, you do need some level, some meter to say, hey, that might not be it. You know, unless you're going to just have a society where all and sundry can do and say all and sundry, and that is called anarchy. So I don't think, you know, cancel culture is terrible. I do think you have to be careful that you're not joining in a mob mentality and affecting an individual's mental health and other things. Right? And, you know, when people get into cancel culture and start dox people, give out their address and all kind of stuff, now we get to
that's the extreme.
now we get to an extreme.
Yeah.
And so I think...
But it happens.
It does happen. And so we have to be... Who is going to cancel the cancelers? Who is, you know, who is holding them accountable as well?
Board.
So, right, exactly. So that's a wrap for the Thursday edition of the Round Table. Special thanks to Miss Pearlie's grandson for joining us in our conversation today. And enjoy the rest of your day, guys. And as you go forward into the world, remember, be good and be on purpose.
On purpose.
Where's my music?
To flex my love, I want to impress, and I want to carry my love away to a place she loves. I'm a man, I want to impress, and I want to carry my love away to a place she loves. My body calling, and your body be calling. Loving you, they make me forget, say I get problem. By the end of the night, enter bathroom, fresh up. I want to flex my love.